What we have here on the left is an agent that's powered primarily on the raw context, think the raw files, the raw SQL tables, and on the right, something that's powered by Atlan's context layer. So you can see what the agent's trying to do. First, whenever a question is asked, similar to, my son's burger had cheese despite his dairy allergies, and the kids' meals were missing. What the agent immediately starts doing is it starts looking at the ontology. It identifies the right tables. It also identifies the severity of what has happened, tags the right ID to it, and then uses that to trigger the right SOP and the right response to it. So when you compare these two responses side by side, what you realize is that the Atlan's context agent actually gives much more contextual answers. The first thing, it actually got the son's name right. It also found the correct amount that it needed to refund. Also, it also follows the tone of the business. For MEC context, we want to make sure that we follow up. We say that we want to text you back in 2 weeks or in 2 hours, and all of that comes because this is powered by Atlan's context layer. A context repository is similar to how you have a GitHub repository for code. A context repository is a repository for context. Now, what a context repository has is everything that your agent needs to be able to do its task. Like we just saw, it has all of your semantic models. It has all of your skills that you need to do an operation. It has something called a SOL.MD file. So let's see what a SOL.MD file is. It's what gives Maya the unique identity of a MEC context center agent. What's the skill here? We have something called a loop closing skill. A loop closing skill is what allowed it to do the follow up in the first place, even after the issue was resolved, because that's what's unique about our contact center and how we run our customer operations. It has all of our semantic models, which allow the agent to understand which columns to query, which tables to query. Now, all of this comes into our context layer. Finally, imagine Maya when she joined a new job. She was not first put into doing all of these calls. What Atlan offers is a way to simulate. Just like Maya would go through training, she would go through mock calls with her seniors, with her managers. Atlan runs simulations of different scenarios so that you know how your agent is performing even before you deploy it to end customers. This gives builders a sense of confidence of how the agents are performing in a synthetic simulated environment. The reason we are able to do this so well is because Atlan has a deep contextual understanding of both your data and business graph, and all of that is leveraged to be able to create all of these scenarios for simulations. Now, for any agent operating in the real world, the learning does not stop at them, you know, doing their job. It comes through daily feedback that comes through their managers, through their peers. That's why Atlan has observability. What we do in observability is that every single trace that the agent is actually performing is captured here. And once it's captured, it creates a feedback loop for you to continue to improve your context layer. What we also offer is a way for you to deep dive into the trace to understand what the agent was doing, what parts of the context layer it's touching, what tools it's using. And for anyone debugging an agent, it can also look at and understand what the reasoning trace was. Now, looking at hundreds of thousands of traces is really, really hard. What Atlan does is that it actually watches over every single one of your traces and identifies patterns that you can easily go and fix to improve your context. So for example, just like Maya would have sometimes associated the wrong tier to a customer and leading to a bad refund, similarly, if your agent does the same operation, Atlan's observability identifies them and gives you a way to improve the context so that it doesn't repeat, building a self-improvement flow that can help you improve the quality of your context as more interactions happen.